Well, the game of football has taught me so many things, man. Now, think about the huddle we have right now, right? I tell people this all the time. There's a reason why they call it a huddle. People have been huddling all their lives, trying to find ways to enhance each other's lives. The great teams do that all the time. The great teams do that. The better the huddle, the better the team. And so it's simple, man, how if you huddle for all the right reasons, we wouldn't have Ferguson. We wouldn't have some of the challenges that we have in our society. But as we all know, there's always a moment when somebody doesn't belong in the huddle. And yet we have to continue to move on. We got to continue to play. So the game of life, man, is always starting with the huddle. And for me, I'm lucky enough to know that, by the graces of God, man, it's been a nice huddle. It's been a nice huddle. And if I just keep making sure that he's in front of me, I'm gonna be all right.
Welcome to FootballGameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our preview of the 2016 Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl between the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the Navy Midshipmen. Now let's start this video off by taking a look at some keys to victory. Let's start with Louisiana Tech in this ball game. For them, it's all about getting early wins on defense versus this option attack. That helps you build confidence, and then you'll be a little bit more effective as the second, third, and fourth quarters wear on. So they have to get those early wins on defense versus Navy. And they can't fall asleep on the corners. The Navy passing game can strike deep, can strike quickly if your corners fall asleep because they run the football more often than not. So you can't fall asleep on the corners. Treat every play like a valuable rep in practice. And on offense, it's about no wasted possessions. You don't want to fall behind against an option football team. You don't want to give them easy opportunity to build a quick lead. So no wasted possessions. Even if you come away with 3, those are valuable versus a team like Navy. And for Navy in this ball game, they can't be afraid to send extra. They're going to have to get some type of pass rush against this Louisiana Tech passing attack, disrupt the timing, force him to throw the ball short and quick. That way you can rally up and make the tackle. And remember, all it takes is for a football team to win 2 out of the 3 facets of a game, whether that's offense and defense, offense and special teams, or defense and special teams. Navy just has to win 2. I think they can win the special teams aspect. Now, if they can win either defense or offense, they can win this game. And they have to stay active at the line of scrimmage. I think this ties into the first point. If you're active, you're going to get some batted balls. You're going to generate some pressure. You're going to flush the quarterback off the spot. All 3, I believe, can be wins for this midshipman defense. I believe the biggest X factor in this game for Louisiana Tech will be the play of their defensive line. A lot of times you focus on the perimeter when you're facing an option attack, but I think their defensive front, more in particular their interior defensive line like Aaron Brown and Jordan Bradford, having to have big days against this offensive front of Navy. If they can eliminate those guards' ability to get those cut blocks or get to the second level, then they can play solid run defense versus this option attack. And for Navy in this ball game, the biggest X factor is their pass rush. You look at a guy like DJ Palmore being able to bring pressure off the edge. If they can affect the pocket of Louisiana Tech and get some quick 3 and outs or just win a few possessions in this ball game, they have a great chance of knocking off the Bulldogs in the Armed Forces Bowl. Now here's a look at some of the draft prospects you want to keep an eye on in this ball game. I didn't include Carlos Henderson because he's a junior in this bowl game, but he's a tremendous talent. But when you look at the Louisiana Tech seniors, Xavier Woods, I think, is one outstanding safety, 5'11", 219. Trent Taylor, smallest guy, but definitely brings it to the table from a quickness standpoint. And I'm a big fan of Jameer Tillman, the wide receiver of Navy. He's a big body guy that runs excellent routes and does a great job in shielding the defender away from the ball and extending out with his hands to make the catch. I like Louisiana Tech in this ball game. I think their offense is the type of offense that can give Navy problems. I know Navy did a great job versus Houston earlier in the season, but that's when they were a little bit more healthier. Now they're not as healthy, and Louisiana Tech, I think, will take full advantage with that downward pressure of their passing game. And defensively, look for the Bulldogs to play solid enough to get the victory.